Florida, late 1980s, a vibrant tapestry of sun-drenched beaches and burgeoning cities. It was a time of excess, of dreams taking flight and shadows lurking beneath the surface of paradise. The air crackled with possibility, but also with a sense of unease, dreams, and danger. The glittering neon signs of nightclubs beckoned, promising excitement and escape, while dark alleys whispered secrets of a more sinister nature. It was a world of stark contrasts, where fortunes could be made and lives could be lost in the blink of an eye. Cheryl Commesso, born in 1970, a young woman on the cusp of adulthood, possessed a spirit as bright as the Florida sun. Her eyes held a spark of ambition, a yearning for something more than the life she knew. She was just stepping into adulthood, navigating the complexities of life with a mixture of hope and trepidation. The city streets were her classroom, and every encounter was a lesson learned, sometimes the hard way, full of hope, but facing tough realities. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with obstacles and challenges that tested her resilience. But Cheryl possessed an inner strength, a determination to overcome adversity and create a better future for herself. Friends described her as vibrant, a ray of sunshine in their lives. Her laughter was infectious, her energy boundless. She had a knack for making people feel comfortable and loved, spirited, and maybe a bit naive. She saw the best in everyone, sometimes to a fault. Her trusting nature made her vulnerable to those who would take advantage of her kindness. She worked as an exotic dancer, a profession that offered a glimpse into a world of glamour and intrigue, but also exposed her to its darker side. A job that paid the bills, providing her with the means to survive and pursue her dreams. But the money came at a price, demanding long hours and a constant vigilance against unwanted attention, but came with risks and late nights. The late-night city streets were a dangerous place, filled with shadows and unseen threats. Cheryl had to learn to navigate this world with caution, always aware of her surroundings. Cheryl wanted more than the neon lights. She yearned for something deeper, something more meaningful than the fleeting pleasures of the nightlife scene. She wanted a future filled with love, happiness, and security, a future where her dreams could finally take flight. But her world was filled with predators, lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to exploit her vulnerability. Men who saw vulnerability as opportunity, preying on those who were lost or alone. They were masters of manipulation, skilled at disguising their true intentions. Unknowingly, Cheryl was walking into the orbit drawn in by forces she couldn't comprehend, of a man whose life was built on violence and lies, a man who would ultimately steal her future and leave a trail of devastation in his wake. Her story isn't just about her tragic end. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. It's about a young woman searching for belonging, for a place where she could feel safe and loved. She was a daughter, cherished by her family, who dreamed of a bright future for her. A friend, loyal and supportive, always there to lend a listening ear or offer a helping hand. A person with dreams, aspirations that were tragically cut short before they could be realized. But someone saw her as a pawn, not a person, a means to an end in their twisted game. Her choices and circumstances, a combination of fate and free will, led her down a dangerous path. Put her on a collision course with a monster hiding in plain sight, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Cheryl's life, full of potential, a tapestry of dreams waiting to be woven, was about to be cut short, a tragic loss that would leave a void in the lives of those who knew and loved her. By evil she never saw coming, a darkness that would consume her and leave her story unfinished. In 1989, Tampa's nightlife was thriving. The city pulsed with energy, a vibrant mix of music, laughter, and dreams under the Florida sun. It was a time of big hair, bold fashion, and a sense of endless possibility. And Cheryl was part of it, dancing at Mons Venus. She was young, full of life, and trying to make her way in the world, one dance at a time. The club was her stage, a place where she could express herself and earn a living. Then one day, she simply vanished. It was as if she had stepped off the face of the earth, leaving behind no trace of her whereabouts. No goodbye, no note. Just an empty space where she used to be. No warning. Her disappearance was sudden and unexpected, leaving those who knew her in a state of shock and confusion. In her world, people often disappeared. The transient nature of the nightlife scene meant that people came and went, often without explanation. So her absence didn't raise alarms at first. It was easy to assume she had simply moved on, seeking a new opportunity or a fresh start somewhere else. Friends wondered, their initial nonchalance slowly giving way to concern. Co-workers gossiped, speculating about the reasons behind her sudden departure, their voices hushed with a mixture of curiosity and unease. But no one called the police right away. There was a hesitation, a reluctance to involve law enforcement in what seemed like a personal matter. Cheryl, just 19, slipped through the cracks. She was young and vulnerable, easily overlooked in a city teeming with people. Her belongings were left behind, untouched and gathering dust, a silent testament to her sudden absence. Her life frozen in time. The clock stopped ticking the moment she disappeared, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. No calls to family, no word to her loved ones, who were left to grapple with the agonizing uncertainty of her fate. No sign she planned to leave. There was no indication that she had intended to disappear, no preparations made for a journey or a new life elsewhere. It was as if she'd been erased, her presence wiped clean from the world. Without evidence of foul play, the investigation stalled. Her disappearance was a whisper, not a headline, easily lost in the cacophony of city life. The crucial early days of the investigation passed with no action, precious time slipping away as the trail grew colder. Cheryl became another missing face in a city full of them, her poster fading on walls, her story becoming just another statistic. The trail went cold, leaving investigators with more questions than answers, and her fate remained a mystery for years, a haunting enigma that lingered in the shadows of Tampa's vibrant nightlife. Her vanishing act was complete, a cruel illusion that left behind only pain and unanswered questions. The silence around her growing louder, a deafening reminder of the life that was lost and the truth that remained hidden. The world moved on, oblivious to the tragedy that had unfolded in its midst. But Cheryl's story was far from over. It was a story that deserved to be told, a mystery that demanded to be solved, a life that should never be forgotten. 6 years later, in 1995, a road crew near Interstate 275 in Pinellas County made a grim discovery: skeletal remains. The bones, weathered and scattered, offered few clues. Forensic experts determined the victim was a young woman, likely in her late teens or early 20s. A facial reconstruction was made, hoping someone would recognize her. The breakthrough came when dental records matched the remains to Cheryl Commesso. After 7 years, Cheryl's disappearance was no longer a mystery. She had been murdered. The cause: blunt force trauma and homicidal violence. Cheryl hadn't run away. Her life had been stolen. The discovery brought answers, but also new questions. Who killed Cheryl and why? The search for a missing person became a homicide investigation. Detectives now had to look back into Cheryl's world to find her killer. To understand Cheryl's fate, you have to know Franklin Floyd. Floyd was a lifelong criminal: burglary, kidnapping, sexual assault, and more. He was a fugitive, always changing identities, always on the run. Floyd was a predator, using charm and violence to control those around him. His connection to Cheryl began at Mons Venus, where his supposed wife, Sharon Marshall, also danced. Floyd was a menacing presence, using the club as his hunting ground. Cheryl, as Sharon's friend and co-worker, saw too much. Bruises, arguments, fear. She became an outsider witnessing a dangerous dynamic. For Floyd, Cheryl was a threat, a witness he couldn't afford. In his world, threats were eliminated. Cheryl's proximity to Floyd put her in grave danger, and Floyd was a man who dealt with complications permanently. At the center of Floyd's web was Sharon Marshall, real name Suzanne Savakis, kidnapped by Floyd as a child. He raised her as his daughter, then forced her into marriage, a life of abuse and control. Cheryl and Sharon became friends, two dancers supporting each other in a harsh world. Cheryl was outgoing, Sharon reserved and burdened. Cheryl saw Sharon's fear and wanted to help. Their friendship threatened Floyd's control. Cheryl was a potential lifeline for Sharon, a danger to Floyd. He couldn't risk Sharon confiding in Cheryl. The bond between the women challenged Floyd's authority. Cheryl's compassion put her directly in the crosshairs of a dangerous man. Tension between Cheryl and Floyd escalated quickly. Cheryl refused to stay silent about the abuse she witnessed. She confronted Floyd, even threatening to go to the authorities. For Floyd, this was the ultimate threat. His secrets were at risk. Reports suggest at least one major altercation between them. Cheryl's bravery made her a direct enemy. She knew too much and was willing to speak out. Floyd's world, built on lies and violence, was threatened. Shortly after these confrontations, Cheryl disappeared. The timing was no coincidence. She had pushed Floyd too far. He silenced the one person who dared to challenge him. Cheryl's disappearance was the tragic result of her courage. She tried to help a friend and paid the ultimate price. Her voice was silenced, but her story would not be forgotten. For years, Cheryl's murder was a cold case, until a discovery in Kansas changed everything. A mechanic cleaning out a repossessed truck found an envelope of photographs. The images were horrifying: a young woman, bound and beaten. Among them were photos of Cheryl, both happy and terrified. The truck had been used by Franklin Floyd. The photos were his trophies, evidence of his crimes. Investigators now had undeniable proof linking Floyd to Cheryl's murder. The images documented her final hours, a chilling record of her suffering. Floyd's arrogance in keeping the photos became his undoing. The case was blown wide open. The photographs told the story Cheryl could no longer tell. They provided the crucial link needed for justice. Floyd, the master manipulator, was finally exposed by his own hand. The camera, in this case, did not lie. With the photographs, the case against Floyd was airtight. By the mid-90s, he was already in custody for kidnapping Michael Hughes, Sharon's son. Michael was never found. Another of Floyd's dark secrets. Prosecutors used the photos to build a powerful case for Cheryl's murder. The jury saw Floyd for what he was, a violent predator. In 2002, 13 years after Cheryl's death, Floyd was convicted of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to death and remains on Florida's death row. Justice, though delayed, was finally served. The conviction was a testament to relentless investigation and a single, damning piece of evidence. For Cheryl's loved ones, it was long-awaited closure. Cheryl Comesso's story is a haunting reminder, a stark illustration of the vulnerabilities that exist within our society. It's a narrative etched in sorrow, a testament to the enduring impact of violence and the ripple effects it creates, of hidden dangers and the cost of courage. It speaks to the shadows that lurk just beyond the periphery of our everyday lives, the potential for harm that can unexpectedly erupt. It underscores the immense bravery required to confront injustice, even when faced with overwhelming odds. Her bravery in standing up for Sharon was extraordinary, a shining example of human compassion and moral fortitude. She refused to stand idly by while another was in danger, demonstrating a profound sense of empathy and a willingness to put herself at risk. But it put her in the path of evil, a path fraught with peril, where darkness and malice conspired against her. It's a tragic reminder that acts of kindness and courage can sometimes attract the attention of those who seek to do harm. Her case shows the importance of persistence, the unwavering commitment to seeking truth and justice, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It highlights the dedication of those who refuse to give up, who tirelessly pursue answers in the face of adversity. 6 years as a missing person, a period of agonizing uncertainty for her loved ones, a testament to the enduring pain of unanswered questions. The passage of time only deepened the mystery, casting a long shadow over those who knew and cared for her, until a chance discovery brought justice. A glimmer of hope emerged from the darkness, a pivotal moment that shifted the course of the investigation and ultimately led to the truth. It underscores the importance of never losing hope even in the face of despair. Floyd's crimes left ripples, a devastating impact on countless lives, a legacy of pain and suffering that continues to resonate. His actions shattered families, destroyed communities, and left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. Michael Hughes remains missing, a haunting reminder of the unresolved cases that continue to plague our society. His absence is a constant source of anguish for his family and friends, a void that can never truly be filled. And Sharon's true story is one of horror, a chilling account of abuse, exploitation, and unimaginable suffering. It's a stark reminder of the vulnerability of those who are marginalized and the importance of protecting the most vulnerable members of our society. Cheryl is one of many victims, a tragic statistic in a larger narrative of violence and injustice. Her story is not unique, but it is a powerful reminder of the human cost of crime. But her memory endures, a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Her legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those who knew and loved her. Remembering her is an act of defiance, a refusal to allow her story to be forgotten, a powerful statement against the forces of darkness that sought to silence her, against those who tried to erase her, to deny her existence, to diminish her worth, to bury her memory beneath a veil of silence. We honor her by telling her story, by amplifying her voice, by ensuring that her life and her tragic death are not in vain, and learning from it, by examining the circumstances that led to her demise, by identifying the systemic failures that allowed her to be victimized, and by working to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. These stories matter. They hold a mirror up to society, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths and to examine our own complicity in perpetuating injustice. Not for entertainment, but for awareness and remembrance. To educate ourselves and others about the dangers that exist, to honor the lives of those who have been lost, and to inspire action to create a safer and more just world. By keeping victims' memories alive, by sharing their stories, and by advocating for change, we can ensure that their lives were not in vain. We ensure their lessons aren't lost, that the mistakes of the past are not repeated, and that future generations are better equipped to prevent similar tragedies from occurring. Stay vigilant, support justice, be aware of your surroundings, and report any suspicious activity to the authorities, and look out for one another. Offer support to those in need, be a voice for the voiceless, and stand up against injustice wherever you see it. Thank you for joining us in exploring Cheryl's story. Your willingness to listen and learn is a testament to your compassion and your commitment to creating a better world. If you found this meaningful, please like, comment, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience and continue to share these important stories for more cases that deserve to be heard. Together, we can amplify the voices of the victims and work towards a future where such tragedies are no more.